Hi, it's Claudia. Thanks so much for stopping by. Today we're working on a really fun big block. It's actually a really big block. It's about 18.5 inches and it's called the Friendship Ribbon. And here it is, all pretty in purple. I've been doing a whole lot of larger blocks right now. They're actually part of my 2021 Stars of the Prairie Mystery Quilt. It's a really fun event. It's a free event. It's up on my website. You can go over and check it out. This is actually the 8th block. It's August. So we are going to be finishing up after this month. We have 3 more months to go, and then in December we put it all together. But each month I present a new block, and this is block number 8. I'm going to show you the tutorial first, so if you just want to learn how to make the block, no problem. That's the first thing up. But then at the end, if you are quilting along with us on the mystery quilt, stay tuned because I do tell you how many blocks we need of this month's of the Friendship Star. As always, I'd love it if you'd hit that subscribe button. I always love new subscribers. Thank you so much. And I am on social media at Create with Claudia. So thanks for stopping by and enjoy the video. All right, here is my big and bold and beautiful Friendship Ribbon block. This is the August block for the Stars of the Prairie Mystery Quilt if you're doing that with us. But if not, stick around. This is just a great block to do. It's another big one. I've been doing one a month. I like these big blocks. I'm really thinking I'm going to make a big nice, you could easily make just a few of these and make a big quilt. So I might have to do some kind of sampler quilt with these. Because my mystery quilt's a little different. Anyway, this is a block that packs a big punch, and let's get started and let me tell you how much fabric we're going to need for this big block. For the background fabric, which as always, every month you'll notice I've been using this pale green. Okay, you're going to need a fat 1/8. So of the background fabric, fat 1/8. Of fabric A, you need, which is this, in my case, this big, bold, sunflowery batik. Fabric A, you need a fat 1/4. Fabric B, which in my case is these polka dots, you need a fat 1/8. And in fabric C, you just need 1 square that's 6.5 inches. And let me just show you really quickly. This purple equates to the background fabric. This sort of circular pattern here, these circles here, that would be your fabric A. Fabric B is this real pale purple, and fabric C is that center square. So now let me tell you how much we need to cut. So of the background fabric, you need 2 squares, cut 7 1/4 inches. Of fabric A, you need 4 squares, cut 7 1/4 inches. Fabric B, you need 2 squares, cut 7 1/4 inches. And lastly, of fabric C, you just need that 1 square, cut 6.5 inches. Because once you're done making the half square triangles on this block, each block is 6.5 inches. Gets trimmed down to 6.5 inches. So the first thing I'm going to do, and if you notice, this is all made except for the center of half square triangles. It's our favorite, or my favorite unit. It might not be yours. Sorry if it isn't. I'm doing a lot of those with this quilt, with this mystery quilt. But they're easy to do. So let me show you how to do a half square triangle, and then I'll let you make the rest. And then all it is sewing this block together. So again, another easy block, just a nice big pack, wow block. So to make those half square triangles, you're going to need to pair up your squares. And you're going to need to pair up all of your 7 1/4 inch squares. So here's that fabric A. And there are 4 of those. Remember, we cut 4 squares of that. You're going to pair up 2 with fabric B. So two pairs of 1 each of fabric A and fabric B. You're going to put them right sides together, but right now I'm just going to pair them up. And then 2 pairs of that fabric A with the background fabric. And now we're going to show you how to make the half square triangle. So you're going to take one of your pairs and you're going to, on the back side of the lighter fabric, and in this case I'm going to use this white just so you can see it better, you're going to draw a diagonal line And you know what? I'm going to zoom in the camera a little bit just so you can see it better. Okay, so I grabbed a longer ruler. This is a 12-inch ruler because this is a big block, especially when you're marking it and cutting it on the diagonal. So you're going to take a pencil. Now, I normally would not use a pencil. I use a water-soluble marker. But in this case, I really want you to be able to see the mark, so we're going to just do that. And I'm just going to do this a couple times. Like I said, I would not use that pencil. It might sting. But there you can see my mark. And then what you're going to do is you're going to pair up one of those pairs, and you're going to put them right sides together. Try to remove all those strings. Pair those up right sides together. Make sure they're nice and even. Doesn't have to be perfect. I give you a lot of wiggle room with my half square triangles, so you do not have to worry so much about it being really accurate at this point. We are going to trim them down though. So now what you're going to do is you're going to sew a 1/4 inch down each side of that drawn line, like so. And I'm going to go do that with this one, and then I'll show you how it turns out. Okay. So here I am. It's all done. I've sewn down both sides. It might be easier to see it on this side. You can see how just imagine that drawn line's on this yellow piece. I used a darker thread on my bobbin thread for this. So anyway, what we're going to do now is we're going to cut this in half with our rotary cutter, and you need a little bit of a longer ruler. This is 12 inches. And you're going to line that up on the line you just drew. And you sew down, and then you're going to take your rotary cutter and just cut on that line you drew and split it in half, easy. And then what you're going to do is take it over to your pressing surface and press, and I just press to the dark in this case. I'm just going to finger press these, and I will take them over in a second. And then, lots of fuzz on these. There you go. That's what they look like. So you get 2 half square triangles of that. Now, this is not the right size. You need to trim these down to 6.5 inches. And let me go press these, and then I'll show you how to trim them down. Okay, so here they are. They're nice and pressed, and now we're going to trim them down. And for this, you need a square ruler. I love this ruler that has this nice diagonal line on it. This is perfect for what I need. This is an 8.5 inch ruler. And the way I trim mine down, so I line up that diagonal line on the seam that we just pressed. And then this, like I said, this is going to be 6.5 inches, so you're going to look here. The first cut I'm going to do is this corner, and I just want to straighten out that corner because that's going to be my real guideline once that's nice and even. So I leave plenty of room on this end. You can see I'm way up near the top, making sure that line is even, and then I'm just going to trim. Always close that rotary cutter up. Okay, there's your scraps. Now see how nice and sharp that corner is? Now I'm going to rotate that around, and that's going to be my starting point. That's going to hit my 6.5 inch measurement here. So it's 6.5 inches on your ruler here and here. And then you're just going to move it around a little bit till you're happy with it. You want to line up here, here, and then on that diagonal line. And then you're going to trim that. And there you got it. There's your 6.5 inch half square triangle. I'm going to finish the others, and then I'm going to show you how we lay out this block. Alright, so here's the original one, my tester one, like I showed you, and now we're going to lay this out, all the squares and the half square triangle, actually the half square triangles that I made. And this is the fun part. I love playing with the fabric. And I have to remember how I did it. A lot of times I use my tester block as my guide, and you can go over, don't forget to go over, you can go over to my website www.createwithclaudia.com, where you can find this pattern and download it. It's so fun. It's amazing to me what you can do just with simple half square triangles and just playing with that fabric color. That's one of the other reasons I think I like half square triangles so much. So there you see our little friendship star, and then last but not least is this fabric in the middle. Let me tell you, that is I don't have much of that fabric left. I've had this, I don't know how many years. It's an old batik I've had so long. The turquoise in that, it's just one of my favorite pieces of fabric, and I thought it'd be perfect for this block. Just, it sings to me. I just, you know how you have, sometimes you find a piece of fabric and you just don't want to use it. Well, that's that piece of fabric. So, but there you go. Anyway, I digress. This is the block. Now all we need to do is sew it together. Again, we're using that 1/4 inch seam. I'm going to spread it apart a little bit. You want to go ahead and sew row by row. So you need 1, 2, 3. So that row first, this row, and then we're going to sew the rows together when we're done. And that is it. It's a really simple block. It just packs a punch. These big blocks, they sort of are surprising me. I don't normally do such big ones, but with my mystery quilt, I did these, and I'm really loving them. So here we go. All right, so here are the rows. Nice and pressed. There we go. All right. Now I pressed these two to the outside, and this row and this row to the outside, and this one I pressed to the inside. That makes it easier when I'm sewing these together to get those points nice and sharp, and so that those seams will join. So now that's what I'm going to do, is sew these rows together. And I will pin, just so you see, I can pull it back. I'll pin there and get that nice sharp point. You want to sew right over that little joint right there. Alrighty, so here is our finished friendship ribbon quilt block. It's 18.5 inches. Boy, is it a big one, but it looks just like a burst of sunshine to me. Stick around if you are joining us for the mystery quilt, and I'll let you know how many of these you'll need to make for August. So if you stuck around, I'm thinking that you're in the mystery quilt and you're here for the August block. Well, here it is. We only need to do one of these this month. In fact, I gave you a hint last month. I'll give you another hint. The rest of the months for August, September, October, and November, we only need to make one block, and they're all going to be this big. So they are nice big blocks. And then we will be finished, and in December we put it all together. It is never too late to join this mystery quilt. If you head over to my website, www.createwithclaudia.com, there's all the information there. You can also find the link in the description of this video, and you can catch up. We've already done, of course, 6 months, but again, it's a free quilt along. You can join anytime you want, and this year we're making it's a double-size quilt, so it's a bigger quilt. Last year we did a smaller wall hanging, and this year we wanted to go bigger, so we're doing a nice double-size. Alrighty, we're back. Here it is. Here's the finished block, all ready to go into my Stars of the Prairie mystery quilt if you're quilting along with us. This would make a great pillow. It's a big 18.5 inch block. I love big blocks like that. If this block has inspired you to join the mystery quilt, feel free to go ahead. My website is www.createwithclaudia.com, and you can find out all of the information over there about this free event. It's every month I give out a new block, and at the end of the year in December we put it all together and make a quilt. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I always love new subscribers. Thank you so much. And I am on social media at Create with Claudia. So thank you so much for stopping by, and have a great day.